Okay, so I'm just gonna go for it. Everybody, I know that I did a video where I talked about my mental health a couple months ago because I was having a very difficult time with my mental health. I was having trouble with depression and anxiety and got to a point where I just couldn't stream anymore. Now I have been working with a therapist and a psychiatrist. So I've been working with a therapist and a psychiatrist, and we determined that the best course of action, in addition to adjusting my meds and adjusting some of my habits and things like that, and trying to work on my way of thinking, was a treatment called TMS, and that stands for Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation. I had never heard of it before going to this specific facility. They were really nice about it. I had heard of electroshock therapy, and the stigma that I have in my mind of electroshock therapy is the type of stuff that was going on 100 years ago and turning people into vegetables, and that's really awful. So I was scared of that. But they now use electroshock therapy very effectively, and it's not that bad. But what they decided to do with me is something that tries to approximate the effects of electroshock, but isn't quite as invasive on the system or your body. And that is TMS, Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation. I didn't know anything about it. It is, well, what they do, I've been doing it for a week and a half now. What they do is they measure certain landmarks on your skull, on your head. So they make sure that there's a electrode here, a couple electrodes around on your head, and there's a cap that's just this kind of little cloth cap that they fit down close over your head. And first what they do is they determine, your motor, I think they called it a motor threshold, which is the amount of energy that it takes to push through that magnet and make your finger twitch, which was really strange. It's kind of like when the doctor knocks on your knee and your reflexes just make your leg kick. It was very strange to feel that. So they put the machine up to your head after you've got this cap on, and the machine actually just pushes on one spot, and it's right about here, kind of bordering on the frontal and the parietal right here. And it would make kind of a thump. It would almost feel like... Gus, hi! It is kind of scary, but it's good. Happy New Year's, Red Foxy. It would almost feel like a ball peen hammer. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Or like a rubber mallet, kind of. So it would feel like something just kind of hit your head once. And it would make my thumb twitch. So they figured out how strong it needed to be for that. And then they reduced it to the point of what they've determined is effective for treatment. And then now I go in 5 times a week for treatment, and it takes about 30 minutes each time. They put the cap on so they don't have to do the measurements again. The cap already has everything put in place after your first time. And then they put the machine up to your head and turn it on. And it goes in small sets of magnetic pulses, I guess. And it feels kind of like just a little tiny hammer going da 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 da. It reminds me kind of a woodpecker. I've started calling it a woodpecker because it's easier than TMS and it's just so descriptive. It's fun to imagine a little woodpecker doing that and trying to help my head. But they do that, and then the technician who's helping me slowly turns up I think he's just turning up the energy to a higher percentage, and as we go along until we reach about 60%. It doesn't hurt a lot, but it does hurt. I mean, it's not pleasant. They don't want you to go over a pain level of 7. So if 10 is the worst pain you can imagine, and 0 is no pain at all, they want to make sure that they stop before they hit a 7. Usually we stop on me when I hit the target threshold, which is 60% of, I think it's 60% of the motor threshold that would make my thumb twitch, but I'm not sure that that's it. But we usually go up to 60% is the goal on me. And usually by the time we reach 60%, I'm at about 6.5 on a pain scale. And then I just sit there. I talk to the technician. It goes, I think, 30 pulses, and then it stops for 10 or 20 seconds. Then it beeps so that you know it's going to start again, and then it gives you another 30 pulses, and then it stops, and then it beeps, and then it does it again. Occasionally the doctor or the technician adjusts where it is, making sure that I haven't moved my body and that it's still pushing on the same place. As far as has it helped me, what is it doing? Well, if you've ever been severely depressed, I will tell you that, first of all, it's hard to leave the house, for me at least, and it has made me get up and go do it every single day because I'm paying for it. I'm responsible for doing it. I agreed to do it. It's one of the things that I can actually make myself do because I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it because I promised everybody. So just getting out of the house once a day, driving around, being in the sun, stuff like that has been good for me. I also had some medication changes around the same time. And then I've also been doing the TMS treatment. And it's difficult to say for sure how effective that specific treatment is. They do it for a total of 6 weeks. So 5 times a week for 6 weeks for a total of 30 treatments. And then they take 5 or 6 more treatments and kind of taper you off of them at the end. My psychiatrist said that sometimes people respond very quickly, and 3 or 4 treatments in, they're like, wow, this is a whole new world. I was hoping that would be me because that would have been fantastic. But so far, I am at a point where I feel like, okay, I think this is helping. And I'm hopeful that it's helping. And if it doesn't end up being, my magic bullet, then we'll try something else. But I'm hopeful. And so I hope that this video, or stream in this case, can help those of you who are looking into it, because I wanted to know what somebody really thought of it who wasn't on a promotional video or advertising the technology, anything like that. So I hope that this is helpful for you. And I will also put up my previous mental health video, but it might take me a little while if you're watching on YouTube. So that'll be there. Have good mental health. I'm going to take a really short break, and then I'm going to be back, and I will be streaming some League of Legends. Okay, thanks everybody.